Hey, y'all, welcome to the Stories That Sparkle. I'm Hella Rader, and today I'm kicking off a new series, a 4-part series called The Quiet Part Out Loud. 4 women, 4 kinds of shame, and the courage to say it out loud. I decided to create this series because shame doesn't always announce itself. And across all 50 plus episodes of the Stories That Sparkle podcast, there have been 5 core themes: grief, voice, reinvention, the body, and community. Meanwhile, shame has been a quiet undercurrent throughout, showing up differently in nearly every woman's story in one form or another, even if it wasn't the headline of that story. So, in this series, I want to make that thread visible on purpose, and to ease us into that rather than opening at full intensity, I am kicking things off with my conversation with Shawnna Journagan, an artist and just wonderful, beautiful human who has gone through an immense amount of change and transition and loss and grief in a very short amount of time, and walked through it, found her way out of it, learned to embrace it. And so shame in her story is present, but somewhat subordinate. It's one word in a longer list of things that she talks about being willing to embrace along with everything else. So I'm excited to bring you this conversation with Shawnna. She's an incredible artist. We met via Instagram. I couldn't even remember how that happened, but she did. So yay for that. It was a real delight to spend time with Shawnna, to get to know her better and to hear from her, and to have her kick off this series on shame. So now I invite you to get comfortable, sit back, and listen in. For the woman who feels all alone in it, whatever it is for her right now, the Stories That Sparkle podcast is a series of long-form, intimate conversations with women you have never heard of and could easily pass on the street, in which they share the often messy truth about navigating grief, starting over, reclaiming their voices, inhabiting their bodies, and building community. Welcome to our Disco Ball, the Stories That Sparkle. Welcome, Shawnna.
Thank you.
Shawnna, I don't even remember how we came across each other. It was somehow an Instagram thing of some sort, is all I remember. I'm like, I don't even remember now how that happened and who reached out to him.
I think I saw it. I don't know how, if it was on my, I don't know if it was on my art page or my personal. It was probably my art page.
Yes.
I saw something you posted and it resonated with me. I know that word is overused lately, but
yes, I understand.
And I was like, wow, that sounds like me. And I messaged you and was like, we should talk.
That's right. That's right. I couldn't remember like which way that happened, but I just remember it was like a simpatico, instant simpatico thing.
Yeah, I was so glad you responded. It was cool.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad, because I've been really curious, because I know part of your story is a major life transition and stepping into who you really want to be and what you really want to be doing. And so I was like, oh, I'm sure there was at some point a wrestle with shame of some sort in the process of that. Certainly has been for me. So I thought we could touch on that, but I definitely want to hear first, like how you came to be in a place where you're working as an artist for yourself.
I wish it was full time. That's the goal.
Yeah.
It's like I have been in the essence of a lot of work I've done the last few years is properties for theaters.
Right.
So I'm a props designer, and I was kind of stringing together all of those contracts, which is exhausting because it's you really can't, and you can't in Kansas City just do that. There has to be filler because there's breaks between shows. Sometimes, like the place that I work the most, like months will go by. Well, they do long runs of shows anyway, and then now I haven't worked there in like almost a year. So I've been really trying to patch things together.
Right.
So I've been working with an artist mentorship and trying to get better at selling and, being present. It's hard to sell art. Like it's it's easier now than it was like when I graduated college because of the internet. Like
right.
Not that it didn't exist when I graduated from college, but like there's a lot more avenues for selling art online. It used to have to be like send slides to galleries and all this outreach, and it's just kind of a huge racket. So I didn't do it for years.
Right.
So now, yeah, it's just trying to focus on the painting.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I am you know, in the transition for me has been like, okay, how do I translate that into, a business slash sales slash whatever combination of how that is so that it can be my full-time
Yeah.
only gig. Yeah, that's
How do you
always the
monetize how you're feeling and surviving and living? Like,
right, right. It's a good. I've often wrestled with that. Like I'm like, how do I like it's not supposed to be about that, but I also need to eat. So
yeah, that whole food thing.
that whole thing. But I was reading about how you were working in a place. Was it called the living room? Is that
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
Yes,
And
that was my
then
theater. Mhm.
yeah, and then I was fascinated by your description of was there as an artist, but then became the administrator.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and I founded it. Like it was my theater.
right.
My partner and I founded it. Yeah. So it was like, yes, it's my theater, but I ended up not getting to be creative enough in it. Like he kind of like not like he had a theater background. I did not. I have a studio art degree, like in painting and graphic design, and his was theater. And we just said, we were living in New York and thinking like all we're doing is working in bars and not being creative. So what do we do? So we came home. We're both from Kansas City, and oh my God, like the building we found was the same price as our Upper East Side apartment.
Oh wow.
Like we had like this like 500 square foot apartment in Upper East Side, and then we found this two-story building in Kansas City. It is not that cheap now. That's why we lost it because the city keeps developing.
Right.
But yeah, so we found this building, and it was supposed to be an art gallery, a wine bar, a theater, like all these things. We were stupid. Like it did. Once it started being a theater, that was like all it could be. Like because
Right.
that's so much theater production is insane. But yeah, right away he was like, I'm the artistic director and gave himself the title. And I was like, well, what am I? And then we made such a splash that he started being on every stage in Kansas City. So he was busy being an actor and he was doing all this. And I was like, well, I'm going to take care of all the like money and management side. And he's like, cool. And then it just stayed that way.
Right.
Because there was so much like where I was like, okay, so you're shining on stage and I'm counting receipts and this is what it's like now. And
Right.
that was a bummer.
Yeah.
It and it was like we had gallery moments, but everything went to the wayside because the theater production was so much. And it was beautiful theater, like so it was artistic and it was great to produce it, but yeah, I was missing being creative. Like
Right. Right. That was in large part where sort of a crossroads came in my marriage, which was wait, like I'm starting to emerge. Something is happening here for me. And it felt like, this space is not big enough for that to be possible because I've put myself in the administrator of his art role for so long that rearranging that was becoming impossible, felt impossible at a certain
yeah.
point. And that wasn't what broke the relationship up, but it was definitely an underlying thread that was running through that. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, same with me. That wasn't like why we broke up, but there was, of course, there was resentment, like, or a little bit of what about me, like happening.
Right.
I
Right.
was like, I don't mind being in the shadows a little bit, but I was so in the shadows. Like a lot of the actors were scared of me.
Oh,
Like, because I
wow.
was like the
Right.
lady behind the curtain that makes the rules. And I was like, I mean, eventually it got better, like midway through, because I started complaining. Because I was like, he was even farming out props stuff or like creative elements where I was like, I can do that. But I think he was so needed me to be doing the boring shit. sorry,
Yeah, that's
stuff
okay. You can
that
say whatever. You
like
could say whatever words you want.
okay, great. Do not give me license for that. But like yeah, I think he so needed me to be the neck that holds the head that I wasn't even getting creative opportunities or even put in shows as an actress or any of that where I was just like,
Right.
listen, dude, like this is not just your show. Like I
Right.
want to do
Right.
the fun stuff too.
Right. Right. Right.
It
Right.
did when we got more professional, it got a little better and just from, me complaining about it, but
Right. What was the process from being the administrator side of a
right.
theater, and then to where you are today?
We knew we were losing the building and we were closing the theater. And then I was really yearning to start painting again. I hadn't painted in almost 10 years. We had the place for 10 years. So if I was painting, it was scenic or something, like not my own stuff. And yeah, with a lot changing, etc., I was like, I just need this outlet. So I started painting. I had never done abstract before. I always did more figurative, illustrative stuff. Um, but just to get started again, I was like, do I even know how to do this anymore? Like, I was a painter. It was my degree. Not that that necessarily means anything, but I was like, I haven't done it in so long. So I just started like just started using paint on a surface and it came out abstract. And I even used to kind of mock abstract like in college where it was just like, oh, did you smear paint around? And then I started doing it and loved it and
Mm,
realized it's embodied memory. Like you are, I've always loved colors, but expressing it in different forms and colors and textures is feelings coming out on canvas. And I was realizing how much I needed it. So I started doing all of the abstract. And then when things really started changing, I was going for a lot of walks, kind of as like an anxiety management. And I just, and for my body, or, and I lived in a beautiful neighborhood where I could take really long walks and it was very florid. And, uh, and then I come home and paint. And I didn't realize until I looked at, the Instagram photo. I was taking photos while I was walking as well. I look at the Instagram photos and then the painting I had done and be like, oh, I unintentionally took the what I saw on the walk and it ended up on the canvas because it was just like colors trapped in my brain and then combined with how I was feeling. It's like all of the changes that were happening in my life and all the seasons that changed during that period while I was painting are on this canvas. So it kind of seemed like the theme happened after it had already happened. Or
right.
making a theme for it or naming it, I guess, is.
Right, right. Yeah, that's interesting. That's kind of how my first series that I'm wrapping up, or have just recently wrapped up, came into being. Like I didn't set out to make a series.
Mm.
And then listening back, I'm like, oh, these are all part of some different version of the same idea, by all these four different women. It was kind of fascinating, and I'm like, well, I guess that's a series. So do you mind sharing like a little bit more about like what those all those major transitions were that happened in such quick succession?
Yeah, it was wild. It was, we lost the building. I mean, we knew that our lease wasn't getting renewed. So we lost our beloved theater of 10 years. He and I had been together for 14
Oh
years.
wow.
And the, when we were losing the theater, we decided to break up. So it was like losing I had never had one job for 10 years. Like, so that was like the longest I'd had any single job. So we had that for 10 years, our relationship of 14 years. So all of it was ending at the same time while we're cleaning out this building that has 10 years of stuff in it. Like, theaters just gather stuff like for
Yeah.
set pieces and props and all of this stuff. So we have like a whole team of people and all at the same time, it was exactly when COVID started. So we're all like sweeping and moving things and crying and wearing masks and like trying to shift all of this. So there's a real ripping of, losing the theater, which was an emotional place because so many wonderful people were involved and called it home, which I was so honored by. But they were like, this is home. Like when I come here, I'm home. And then we were like,
Mm.
sorry guys, we're closing.
Right.
We
So
can't
you're
do how
grieving
many
not
more.
just the loss of like this dream or this place that you've helped build, but also all this, like this community of
Yeah,
people. Like it's like from like almost one day to the next, it's just like all wiped out. And now you're in COVID and you're at home alone in
yeah.
between cleaning it out. Oh my
And then I
gosh.
was very alone because it was like, we were living together and he's a lovely man and we had a very good relationship, but it was just not working well enough that needed to stop. And I feel like he was having kind of a midlife crisis too, and his identity was very wrapped into owning that theater. So I think there was a panic going on. Um, and it's fine that we split up. I miss him. We still really like each other. But
Right.
so that's a hard separation. Like, when you have a breakup where you're like, I hate you, great, you're gone. It wasn't like we love each
Right.
other. So it was very like,
Right.
well, but I love you. Like, and then we didn't see each other in person for a freaking year. Um, Flies. But like, so yeah, that was ending. We were still living together. He moved out right before we emptied the theater. So then I was just living alone. And my doctor thought I had COVID because I had gotten sick, but it ended up being allergies or something. So I was isolated and I was like, okay, so I have no partner, no roommate, no job, no pets. Like I was just completely alone in this apartment for a while. And that's partly why I went on 5 mile walks every day. I was like, I just have to get outside. I need to go do something. I was either painting or walking. And it was like, I'm either watching funny things on TV to stay positive, eating saltines because you could like buy or get so many things. I mean, my whole industry shut down. Like there was no way for me to have income or
Right.
get unemployment because I worked on so many 1099s. So it was like I have no money and the guy moved out, so now I pay double the rent that I was paying and like it was pretty fucked. And so
Right.
I would just go on really long walks every day and paint and try to stay sane. And I definitely know those walks and just being outside and then painting. I took a boiling hot bath every single night. That was just like kept me sane. Um, and like then people started dying, and not from COVID, but
Hmm.
friends just started dying. So I was really like I lost my partner and my business, and no one could go anywhere because it's COVID. And then I I had like 8 friends die within a couple of years.
Oh
Like
my God.
random, like 2 friends died from hitting their heads, like falling and hitting their heads. And like a couple was cancer. I think one was suicide. No, 2 were suicide. Um, Heart attack. Like there was just like one thing after the other where I
Oh
was
my
like, are you
God.
kidding me? And then my dad died, which is a huge one.
Yes.
I was like the hits just kept coming. Like it was wild. Where I was like, wow, this is a real test of I could easily go crazy right now. Like from as soon as I feel a little better, someone else dies or something else happens. And um I don't know. I guess it's part of just like, oh, this is what getting older is. Like people start dying and shit hits the fan. Like it really just is life.
Right.
Um,
And
and you have
yeah,
to just
it's like that's a lot though, but that's a lot of loss, like back to back. I mean, I can't. I'm like, wow. I'm doing the math in my head just in terms of like, I'm like, yeah, I've been through a lot of loss, but not. That's like that's next level, like in just in terms of the amount and the intensity of everything else around it. Like, geez,
it
wow,
was a very like, are you kidding me? Like I'm
yeah,
being tested. Like it's terrible when people die or you lose people either way. But I was like, but I was just trying to get over this other huge life transition of losing my. We were never married, but he was my husband. Like
right,
partners for
right,
14 years and ran a business together. So losing both of those, I was like, I would like some quiet time, please.
right.
Did everyone stop dying? Like it just turned into so many things in a row that I was like, okay, yeah, you can choose like I'll go insane or take life as it comes. I definitely started really understanding and embracing practicing gratitude.
Hmm.
Like that's such a current term that I feel like people can even mock, but it's like, no, actually try it. Like actually do it.
Right.
Like
Like actually practice it. It's not
yeah.
easy and also it's game changer. I totally agree. Like when I
You have to
allow
mean it.
myself, yeah, you have to mean it. Otherwise, it doesn't. Yeah, totally. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never been able to do meditation. I should. I'm working on it. But like that is kind of the closest I come to meditation where
Mm-hmm.
I really started. Oh, and I was also going to perimenopause at the same time, which has horrifying, people don't know enough about, like, so you also feel already insane.
Yeah.
Where I was like, what else could be happening right
Yeah.
My body hurt. My mind is crazy. My hormones are changing. Like they call it second puberty for a reason.
Mm,
Like it's just as bad as when you were 12.
yeah.
Like it's absolutely horrible. So that was in the mix as well. And I was just like, I was so anxious and panicky. You know, that progesterone dips and your anxiety spikes. It's horrifying. And I didn't know that's what was happening because again,
Right.
people don't talk about it enough.
Right.
And so I'm, trying to start other jobs that are stressing me out. And and I would get like some call it the menopause flu or something. Like I would just feel sick, like I had the flu. Like there would
Hmm.
be all these changes. So I just kept intermittently feeling like you want to stay home because you're sick. Like so I just really want to stop trying. Like there was just so many waves of different nonsense that yeah, I had to start practicing gratitude real hard where it was like I have a bed that I sleep in, and I
Yeah.
love my cats. And I was also really stressed out because I moved to a house where people dump cats, so I was taking care of all these ferals and like I care too much about cats. Like I had like four different like I've been responsible for like 25 cats in the last 3 years of getting them fixed or homing them
Wow.
and taking them and feeding them, and that would always hit me too emotionally because they're little cats and they can get hit by cars in our street and um but yeah, so it had to be um I'm thankful for everything I have, that I live inside of a home and I'm safe and I have a shower and I have a bed, and I would have to just kind of say these things and it is calming even when it's
Yeah.
the most basic things. I think when you say practice gratitude, people think it's going to be hooey dooey, and it's like no, it's actually just the most basic things. Look at you, look what you have, like
Right.
be
Right.
thankful. Like things can get way worse.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, you're so right. I'm also not a very good meditator. I don't do like the om thing and the sit for half I can't do it. I've tried for many years, but I can sit and look at the bird feeder. And that's sort of a version of that for me, like just watching the birds. And yes, like actually the practice of making a gratitude list as as a daily practice. And you're right, like the most basic things. A mentor of mine once had me do that. But it's like you can't repeat day after day. Like it can't be the same five things. It has to be
Right.
five different things. And I'm like, that was way harder than I thought. And so, I'm like, what do you mean? I can't just keep saying thanks for the bed, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I had to like, but it helped really force me to think bigger, not in terms of size of the thing I was grateful for, but to think outside of the obvious that I could immediately see, or
Yeah.
get too, lofty about it. Like I could just, it was very tangible. It helped make it
Yeah.
very tangible. Yeah.
Lofty is a great word for that, where, yeah, I feel like when people think you're supposed to do it, it is like a higher thing. And I'm literally like, I love this cup. Like,
Right.
where if you, and I know it's kind of the anxiety management, wherever you go, there you are kind of thing of like, be conscious, like, enjoy your food, be thankful that you have this cup to drink tea out of, or like think about it and be present. And to me, that's, I think, what meditation's kind of supposed to be for. Or so the most meditative thing I do is, yeah, there is a new list each day of like, if I'm going to sit here and go, okay, you are like, think of all the things that I'm thankful for right now. And I will actually, I'm not a very spiritual person. I'm definitely not religious, but I will talk to my dad.
Mm,
I think he's there some, if there is
yeah.
that idea of collective consciousness, which I do, I believe in that a bit,
Right.
right? I need to, that I'll just be like, hey, dad, like I'll just, talk to him. And it's really dumb though, because as I grew up pretty much atheist, but you'll still be like, "Hey Dad," I'm like, "Where am I? Why am I? Why is
Why
the
am I
sky
looking
always like?"
up? Yeah.
It's the whole sky daddy in the clouds thing that people talk about. That I'm like, I don't why I still look up because it's just
Right?
modern human nature, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I love that. Yeah. No, I often pay attention to to like things like butterflies because some of them are like, oh, that's my mom, or
Oh,
when her cactus blooms, I'm like, oh, hi, mom. So yes, like I'm not definitely not a religious person. I do veer on the spiritual side, but I totally get that. Like talking to them is a real thing.
yeah.
They're somewhere in the vicinity of some sort, I believe.
I'm
So.
kind of more on board. Like I started listening to a really great podcast called Keep It Weird. And they kind of started as like true crime, which I'm not interested in. And I love that they turned to way more like spiritual witchy stuff, which I'm
Ooh.
way more interested in. Like they have a medium who comes on who's amazing. And they just like to research the weird, like alien stuff and spiritual stuff and witchy stuff. And really kind of brought to my attention the idea of collective consciousness and different spiritual elements like that. Made me believe in ghosts a little more, which I've never believed in
Ooh.
because I've never seen one. Like so there's a lot of interesting stuff on there. And I was pertaining to what you were saying of like not being religious but a little bit spiritual,
Yes.
that you can find that where it's not like a specific thing but just about all of us and our spirits, souls, etc., whatever, how we're all, hanging out here and like
Right. Yeah. Somehow we're
how do you
connected,
connect?
whether we realize it or not.
Well, it
Yeah.
was oh right, it was because of the butterfly,
Mm-hmm.
or thinking that because I was connected to my grandmother who's wonderful, and I think I am gonna go to a medium and be like, can you reach her? But like she was kind of witchy. Like I was just like she gave me this amazing fortune teller's birthday book, like because we were both really into astrology. And I was reading through it the other day, and every passage I read for anyone I know well was like, like so spot on that I was like, "Oh, it's real." Like there are people who just know this or feel it or think it. But I know what you mean when you choose
Yes.
of like you're communicating to me or someone's communicating to
Right.
me
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
something else.
Yeah. And I loved how you said before, like going through these seasons, whether it's the season of menopause and that transition, or the seasons or other transitions in life, like embracing all of who you are, including, the fear, the shame, the feelings about it all. And I love how you said that, and also how you then have turned that into artwork and using that as a way to give it voice.
Yeah, I art's there for a reason. I mean, art therapists are there for a reason. I think
Right.
sometimes you just need to express. I mean, writing is brilliant because that's really pulling everything out. And then maybe, yeah, if you can't articulate with writing, sometimes you just need to smear some paint around is kind of
Right.
how it ends up.
Yeah, there's
And
definitely
it was
so
actually,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, I was going to say it's actually more freeing than I used to always do such illustrative work where it was too in my head. Like I'm a very in my head kind of person. So it would be like, here's the concept. I'm going to illustrate it, and then now you know what it means. Um, which isn't that freeing. Like it was coming out of me, so it was kind of a release, but not the just like raw outlet that abstract is. Like it's not like here's a picture that you can see forms and it looks like it's depicting something, versus just like like that it just comes out and scatters and hopefully it's visually pleasing as
Right.
how
S-
abstract that.
So how does that relate to the scenic, like the props version of your creativity? Like how do those two overlap with each other, or do they? Do they intersect in any kind of way?
They don't really. I just ended up doing props because I was qualified because I owned that theater. So owning that theater, and we were, a small nonprofit, that was, successful for what it was. But I would end up being costume designer, scenic designer, director, actor. Like I would wear a million hats. So props, it would just be like any other theater in town was like, we need a props designer who's heard of who. So I just kind of got asked to do it.
Mm,
Um, which, props is kind of um it's sometimes creative, and then otherwise it's just like, how do you make a room look like a room? Like fill it with books and things on desks, and then sometimes you have to build something, or but I do remember there was a show we did, the show David Mamet's show Race, and there was a law office where we wanted to put abstract art on the walls because it's a law office. And my good friend and I were working on the set, and we're like in the basement where our workshop was, and like we could just make these, right? Like, why don't we just do that? Like, we have all this paint and all this space down here. Like, we could make abstract paintings. Like, we should just do that. And we'll be like a duo and we're making abstract paintings. It never happened. But like, I had that realization of like, it sounds fun though. Like, I can completely do this. So yeah, when I eventually started painting it again, that's what I started doing.
Right, right. So I'm hearing also that the there was some kind of like idea you had in your head about what, if you're an artist, what that should look like. And if I don't do it that way, there's something, I don't know, not wrong, but like it's not the right way to do the art. And like
Right.
freeing yourself almost from this sort of rule in your head somewhere.
Yeah, I definitely don't believe in idealism. I don't believe that you can be a sellout like with art. Like I would, yes, Target, please use sell my paintings. Like
Right.
there's like you'll be around artists and they'll be so idealistic about like no and you can't, and I'm like there's no can't. All I want to do is be creative and have that be the center of my life. I will sell it by any means. Yeah, I don't think you can do it wrong.
But then like, but also like allowing yourself the freedom to make abstract art versus like you're saying, like a still life or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like meaningful, illustrative, like this is my dark message kind of stuff. Like there's just a lot of that, and I used to do that. Like I have illustrations or paintings, and but because people do like to like they go and look at art and they're like, I feel like this figure is saying, who's my mother? Or like they like want to find meaning in it. Um and I just hope when people see my work that they see the meaning for what they need. Like all of it came out as feelings, and it just came out in color and texture. And if you look at it and it does something to you, just keep looking at it and see if you find your feelings that coming out the other side, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hearing like the journey from like, okay, I was, was running a theater company that was quite
mhm.
successful and administrating, and then breaking out of that into making my own art again. And in within that, in a different kind of way than I thought I should or would. And then also and then it's evolved even more from there into this guide, which I would love to hear about that piece.
Yeah, thank you. That came from me trying to break out of theater. Like I'm thankful for the contracts I've been given, but it's such an unsteady market that I'm done like trying to string it together. And it's not me. I want to just do my art, not for other people. So I found an artist mentorship program. So I've been working with people who work with artists and help them find their way, learn how to find buyers, and create a better mindset. And they are who guided me toward naming a theme for what you have and how it happened, like recognizing it and um, adjusting your mindset to the value of your work, of not being a product, but an experience and something that can be a gift to someone to have in their life, like something that they see in their home every day or wherever it ends up, and have it mean something to them. So the guide just came from uh, talking about the experience of the all the life transitions that happened at once in an insane amount, like a small amount of time, so much changed. And then
Right.
we thought of this theme, and then yeah, just kind of researched everything around that could kind of help anyone else who's trying to work through those transitions,
Mm-hmm.
and um, discover ways that they can get into their next cycle of growth, and
Right.
not not fight it, but accept it and work through it, like all the stuff I had to work through. And came out the other side, not like I'm perfect now, but like but just to be conscious of I'm working through this and there is coming out the other side. It's not just I'm stuck here and I'm angry or sad or suffering, but that you work through it and you accept it and it becomes part of you. Like all of the pain, all of the shame, all of any of it is it's you. So embrace it. And
Mm.
that's where it kind of, I guess, season, especially in this region, it's like we have a solid winter, spring, summer, fall. Like you know what time of year it is. And sometimes, yeah, when you're going through changes, like I know I get so excited when fall comes and you smell that fall smell. And then when spring gets all rainy and you smell the flowers and start sneezing because I have allergies. But then, like, when, it all goes through and all of that came through of me going, like, wow. I know sometimes I'll say what happened in my life. I felt like I was dropped out of an airplane without a parachute and was just like, ah. And like the art really helped me through all of the seasons of a couple of years of just trying to embrace this is my story, this has happened, this is going to make me who I am, and be grateful for it and let it make you feel more vibrant. And that's partly what I hope that my art offers other people. And then I also encourage people to going through stuff like that to express themselves in some way, either through writing or so many people are like, I'm just not creative. I'm like, yes, you are. Everyone is. Like, think about little kids. They all play with crayons. Like, you lose it when you become an adult or somewhere along the way. It seems like nonsense. And I felt that way. But it can be such an outlet for the pain you're going through and the changes in your life and being able to express yourself is such a big deal and be able to get it out and release it. And per your point, yeah, I was just like I do it for myself, but then I also want to share my art so that maybe when you look at like a scattered abstract or something, you can again back to the meditative element, like look at it and just absorb it and release.
Mm.
Try to think about embracing all of the shit that gets thrown at you in life. Just embrace it and like pew, pew, like come at me. Like
Right,
I can
right.
do this.
I got this.
I have to
Yeah.
keep living. I am here and I showed up. So come at me, life.
Right. Right. I dare you. I dare
Yeah.
you. Yeah, and I also heard in there that other piece of um when you're in something and it feels hard or scary, that this it will change, like if you just can hang in there and wait for the season to change, so to speak, into
Yeah.
the next place. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. I think that's why that theme came to mind of just
Mm.
like buckle down. It's not the end. Like it's things are going to change. It can get better, it can get worse, but it will change. Like don't let yourself be stuck.
Mm.
Just know that nothing's forever. Even the good things
Right.
sometimes. Like,
Oh God, yes. When somebody first said that to me, like this too shall pass, including this really great feeling, I'm like, don't what? And they were like, no, but
how dare you?
how dare you say that? That's not fair. But it was I remember not liking hearing it. And then also in retrospect now, I'm like, oh, I'm really glad I can. It's like basically like hold it all very loosely. Like don't get stuck in one extreme or the other. But yeah, it's been quite I was like, I did not like that at first. But it's definitely true, whether I like it or not.
That's a good way to say it though. Like, don't lack appreciation or gratitude for it, but don't death grip
Mhm.
it because you might lose it. Like, because I mean, I know we all do that and we freak out like things are going too well. Something's going to explode. You know what? Probably will. Like, so
Right.
I
Right.
mean, I feel like I've lived a charmed life compared to a lot of humans on Earth, but shit goes down and a lot did for me all at once where I'm sure it was for a reason that I've gotten to a better way. It's also age, but like of knowing how to ground myself, how to
Mm.
stop freaking out and just step back. I remember I used to get mad about, when people are like manage stress, avoid stress. If like I had cortisol problems and adrenal problems and all that. And had exhaustion and all these things. Then, if you read about like, how do you deal with these ailments? And it was like, avoid stress. And I was like, who, oh, you know what? Because I want stress. Like, no, like, yeah, I would love to avoid stress. Thank you. Thank you very much. But now I have started to realize what that means, where I'll start fussing about something in my head and go, no, stop.
Hmm.
Like, have your tea first. This isn't for today. Or I'll, just like stop and go. I- Everyone's always heard worry makes waste, right? Like, I wasted a lot. Like, I've always been a big worrier and I'm dangerously empathetic. So I'm constantly swimming, in all of it. But I had to stop and just go, like, don't go blank for a minute. Don't go away. Like, be responsible, but like,
Hmm.
and started just letting go, like just being like, nope, this does not belong in my body, and this cannot be what makes me go crazy. It's out of my control. That's one of the biggest ones. I think they say that in AA, or the things that I cannot control thing, or
Right. Right. Oh yeah, the serenity prayer. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
is that what it
Yeah.
is?
It's it's
This godless heathen, like,
it's grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change,
yeah,
courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Yeah.
it's wonderful, and
It
that's from the
is.
Bible.
No, but it's definitely
Oh,
used a lot in 12-step recovery and shows up
not
there a
like
lot.
it kind of it just gave me goosebumps. Um, yeah, it's a great one. And I feel like people can just blah 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 chant it and not really be thinking it and feeling it. But when I really heard it when I needed it, I was like, oh God, right. This is out of my control. Don't
Mm,
flip out about it. There's nothing you can do. So just stop flipping out. All you're doing is hurting yourself. Think about the things you can control. I can control
right.
how I'm thinking, how I'm behaving, and all of that. That it really hit home. Because yeah, you can. I remember I first started, I didn't adopt it yet, but I remember thinking that on the train in New York, like being on the subway and watching people flip out when like the train's under construction, it stopped, or like they're late or they're on their way somewhere, and they'd be like, ah, and like freaking out, and I would just like read my book, and I was like, oh God, with my ADHD type brain, like it was the first time that I went, I can do nothing about this. So
Mm,
freaking out will change nothing. I'm going to sit here and read my book and be calm, because your raging will change nothing. Like, all it does is hurt your body and make you toxic inside. So just stop and calm down. And so I've tried, like, I'll think of that train moment or moments like that and try to put it in regular life when I find myself like, slamming dishes around, and why didn't he pick that up or do it?
mm-hmm.
That I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, quick, calm down, shut up, like, calm, like, stop
Right.
being upset about something that's not that upsetting. Like, just
Right. Yeah.
think it.
Yeah. Well, and it sounds to me like you're like making art, painting specifically, and the walks combo pack of things is a big way in which you then ground
Yeah,
yourself into
sure.
not, I'm like, oh, I can't control all these other things, but I can ground myself and use my art as a way to get it out of me, like let
Yeah,
release it in a sort of directed kind of productive way. Yeah.
yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
walking is just doing your body such a favor. Like, being in nature, I believe also, like, is just, I mean, scientifically proven. If you're lucky enough to live where there's trees and stuff, like, I actually missed, like, I love New York, but and then when we moved to Kansas City, weirdly, we were in like a concrete district where I was like, I miss trees. Like, I want to be in nature. And then I moved into a neighborhood that's just full of, trees and nature and landscaping and a park, and it was beautiful. And yeah, something about, and not, I would walk fast. It was for exercise too. Like, unlike like when COVID started, I like immediately lost 20 pounds, like just from like going
Mm-hmm.
and walking and just enjoying it for anxiety and calmness. Yeah, and because it was beautiful, and then just immediately lost weight. I think also because of the anxiety release, because we hang on to it, the
Yes.
cortisol thing, and but just like walking, and I mean, I was listening to music or a podcast or something, which is just also calming. But yeah, like releasing into that. And then, yeah, I'm usually coming home and being like, I'm going to paint a little, and then I'm going to get in the damn bath. Like, was just like I actually, everyone talked about it, like, a horror movie, but 2020 was kind of awesome for me. Like,
Right.
even though all the terrible, I mean, actually, it's luckily like I wasn't working and I had time to do all of that while all the other crap was happening. Like, not
Mhm.
everyone gets to do that. Like,
Right.
by the time my dad was dying, I was at a full-time job and having to just like go outside and cry throughout the day. Or,
Mm.
like, why do I have to be at work? But the other stuff, I was at least getting to be alone and walk and fuck off, basically, and paint.
Right.
Like,
Right.
not show up to work every day and be like, good morning,
Mm,
coffee. Like,
right.
I was lucky in that way.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, I mean, it was weird because that was an interestingly, also strangely, live out in the countryside more, like not in a small town in the countryside. So I'm in town, but so there was lots of outdoor options to be outside and walks and all
Yeah.
of that. So
I've seen on your feed, it looks wonderful. Like,
yeah, and
in nature all the time.
and in the grand
Mm.
scheme of things, especially during COVID, it was, I mean, I was very grateful. Like, speaking of the gratitude, like I had lots to be grateful for as everything else was falling apart. I'm like, well,
Right?
at least there's birds and trees
Here's
and
this
stuff.
flower.
So, before
That's
we
great.
close, I just wanted to, I had two questions. One was about I know that you offer a call with
Mhm.
someone who's interested in your artwork. So tell me a little bit about that before I give you the final question. But I was really
Okay.
curious about how that works, and like I just was like fascinated by that.
Yeah, it's a Zoom meeting, partly to talk about my art. If you're interested, that would be great. But then also just to talk about stepping into your next cycle of growth and what's holding you back and what is your biggest challenge when it comes to all of that. And just being available to talk about it. And hopefully you would like some of my art, something on the wall that makes you remember that you can focus on and say, this is a piece that reminds me of practicing that gratitude and accepting the seasons and embracing change instead of fighting it because it's going to happen anyway.
Right.
Um, so that's kind of the idea there.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
I love that. I was like, that's really brilliant. And I also just I love that sort of like connection to like, hey, tell me about where you're at and where your trends what you may be in the middle of. And let's like maybe there's a piece of art that will speak to you as part of getting you or walking you through it. I think that's really beautiful.
That's part of it. Like the company is called Artists in Business, and they're a great mentorship program for artists. And that's part of their point is that they were really because I was really focused on trying to sell prints and stuff, which I of course still would, but where they were like, it needs to stop being looked at as a product and as something that could change your day every day, like an
Mm,
original piece that you have on the wall that you can, and it could be a print that you have on the wall and have the same hit, but that you can look at on the wall and it's an experience and it's something that affects your life and changes your life because specifically with mine and my theme that it can be a reminder. Like sometimes you want to look at it as you start your day, remind yourself, practice that gratitude, forgive yourself for everything, stop fighting the change, and um, you know, click into gear before you let yourself get angry all day or sad or frustrated and try to just be good to yourself. Like,
right. Yeah, like redirect. Yeah, I love that.
yeah, redirect.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well
Mhm.
said.
Okay, so the last question I always ask a version of to anyone who joins me, which is if there was one thing, like what would be the one, like obviously there's a bajillion, but if you could pick one thing that you would want someone out there, especially a woman out there, who's in the middle of at the doesn't even know what transition she might be in or what season of this is, and doesn't know even where to begin, like to do anything. Like, what would be the one thing that you would say, like, do this one thing, like, or start with this one thing? Yeah.
Hmm. To someone who's going through a big transition,
Yeah. Yeah.
embrace it.
Mm,
Like, don't fear it. Just recognize that this is what's been put in front of you and you're absolutely capable of handling it. Like as soon as you think you're not, you'll surprise yourself and get through it. And just embrace that it's going to make you even more who you are and make you even stronger. Like, I think we are the collection of all of the disparity that, like, the whole like wisdom is just a series of mistakes. Like, it's true. Like, you get stronger and you learn from like how much gets thrown at you and that you have to go through. So just, bare your chest to the wind and allow it to come at you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. That's amazing. I love that. Yeah, I love the embracing all of it. Um, and I loved what you said about, you're going to surprise yourself by what you're capable of. And in fact, you're going to come out more you than you started. Yeah.
It's gonna be
Hmm.
like the new better you because you're like, I survived that. Like, I know that's how I've been feeling, where I'm like,
Right.
I am everyone's like, I've had friends always say you're so strong, and I never knew why. But then all of that happened. I'm like, I'm freaking strong now. Like,
Right.
yes, like,
Damn
I
straight I am.
hadn't dealt with anything until all of this now. Like, I don't know why I was getting credit, but like, I remember being in my 20s and everything is everything. Like every relationship and all. It's great. Keep feeling it. Feel life. Like don't ever shut down. Don't close yourself off. Get hurt.
Right.
Get in trouble, do whatever. But it's just, oh God, it's the glory. Speaking of like going through the change or, menopause and whatever, there are glorious things about getting older. That
Yes.
it's like, oh my God, your headspace and like how objectively you can see trivialities. Like there's just wonderful elements that it's all again the embracing it, all of the pain and all of the strife, all the things that are thrown at you make you stronger and make you go, oh, okay, I'm seeing the way bigger picture now.
Mm.
And my consciousness has expanded.
Right. Thank you so much, Shauna. It's been a delight hanging out with you and getting to
Yeah,
know you better. It's been really fun.
me
And
too.
I really do love your artwork. It's stunning. So I will definitely be including obviously all the links. So we'll get all those together and send people your way. And yeah, y'all book a phone call with her. I mean, that's freaking
Oh.
awesome. I don't know anybody else that I'm like, what? You can chat with the artist? That's incredible. I just love that. And yeah, I love the spirit of that. So yeah, y'all, you can book a call with her and chat through it and see what piece may resonate for you. So yeah, awesome. Well,
Awesome.
thank you for taking the
Thank
time
you.
and chatting with me. And yeah, I look forward to continuing to connect down the road.
Me too. Me too. Me
Awesome.
too.
Woohoo. And if I'm ever in Kansas City, I will definitely let you know because I get around. So I might end up there one day. Well, thank you again, Shauna. It was really
Thank
great
you.
to hang out with you. And yeah, we'll be in touch soon.
Awesome. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Stories That Sparkle, a space I created for women to share in their own voices the intricacies of their stories. And thank you so much to Shauna for joining me and sharing with all of us. Wow, what an incredible story of courage, of facing the hard things, of learning to embrace change and transitions of all kinds through loss. I mean, it's just incredible. I'm so inspired by this woman and really grateful for her giving me all this time. If you want to find her online, you can go to ShawnaJournaganArt.com and her Instagram is at Shawnna Journagan Art. So check both of those out. All the links, including the link to the guide, are in the show notes. So, because spelling does matter here, y'all. So check that out. Show notes, all the links. Make it happen. And maybe you'll find a piece of beautiful art to hang in your home and connect with in moments when you need a reminder that the transitions are worth embracing. Having said all that, of course, the series continues in 2 weeks with Katie, my next guest. So we're going to get a little bit more into the shame intensities, y'all. So stick around, come back for that. And of course, if you have a story you want to share on an episode of the podcast, I am open for submissions. You can go to hellarader.com/submissions. And please consider inviting 2 friends, just 2, to download, subscribe, follow along, because together we bring light into dark places.